Okay, so I'm recording another video and I've got loads to upload and yeah, I'm still recording more videos, but I'll get around to them. They'll get uploaded as and when they will do. I might even do this last video and then basically upload all the rest of them before I start recording more. But anyway, the purpose of this video, because before I was doing this video, I thought, what could I possibly talk about? Because it's sort of a blockage in my head. That's like I can't think at the moment, and I need to get creative and start thinking about what I can talk about as the weeks go by before I basically upload another one. Because, or should I say, record another one, because it's likely that I can put all the other ones that I've done before onto YouTube, and then I'll eventually have more. But this one, I did think, I thought, yeah, I've got it. Holidays. I know I've talked many times about going on holiday and various things, but it's often been notified by if you could go to any place in the world, where would you go, and all that malarkey and various holidays that people might want to go on. Well, I've already been to Nashville, so I've lived my dream on that one, so I suppose I don't need to do that. Well, I can go again because it would be nice, but I don't need to go if I don't have to go because I've been before, so that fulfilled my dream. I suppose the only dream would be to go to Nashville and actually attend the CMA Awards, but that's a long shot. But let's think about some other destinations of significance that I would like to go to. Well, first of all, Australia. Yeah, I think I would love to go to Australia. It's a country that I'm a big fan of. I practically well, I'm not going to say that I could have been Australian because that'd be wrong, but I do love Australia. I watch a few Australian TV programs, and I would say I watch more Australian TV than American TV, but I guess that isn't right because there's not a lot of Australian programs on television that I watch. Not as many as I have done in the past. I suppose in a way, um, because we don't want to talk about reruns. Reruns of old programs that we're watching on the internet or basically on channels. I don't want to use that. The way I see it is we've got to use programs that are currently being shown now. Like, for instance, um, the majority of programs that I currently watch now are all British. Majority of them. I would say that's 95% of them. And only some creep in, which are either American or Australian. Like, I watch Nashville and I watch Masterchef Australia and I watch Neighbours. So, you could almost say, if they're the only three that I watch from outside of Great Britain, then Australia does win by one show. But anyway, it's not about TV shows, it's about holidays. And yeah, that would be one place I'd like to go to, I think, Australia. But as people may well know, if they live in England and it's expensive to travel there. It's a 24-hour journey as far as I know of. So you've got to get a flight that's 24 hours. Now I don't really know how I would cope with that because I've never been on a flight that long. And certainly you'd need to kill the time. Now some of that would be done with obviously sleeping, because I would definitely want to sleep. And then there would obviously be eating, possibly what food would I be eating. But again, how can you pass that time away in a 24-hour period? Because if I'm at home, for instance, a 24-hour period, I've got things that I can do. Whether I'm using my laptop, whether I'm watching things on television, or whatever. Um, Sometimes I do go out and basically, well, I'm not saying I go out every day of the week, but I go out sometimes. But yeah, while I'm thinking about that, that could be another blog. I might think about that for another blog, going out, whatever. But we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. I might write it down and do it another day. But anyway, we're talking about holidays. Where would I like to go? And I said Australia, and it's a long flight, and I think I would have to think about what it could be for a 24-hour period. I know you're not going to be able to do too much because you're going to be on a plane. you do get stopped off somewhere before you basically arrive to your destination, but it is a long flight and it does cost a lot of money. And we would like to go, particularly my mum and dad would like to go as well, but they've kept saying every time I bring it up that, you know, we'd like to go to Australia, but it's expensive, and that's their problem. They are also worried about their age because they're getting on a little bit now. My dad's 65, as you may well know from a previous blog where he's retired. But and the whole point is basically that and my mum's not much younger, only a few years below. She's still working. She's not at the retirement age yet, but she's still in the working age, basically a few years younger. And I think the problem that we have is that I mean, I can go to Australia by myself, which wouldn't be a problem if I had the money and I could do it. But I don't think I want to travel all the way to Australia all by myself on a 24-hour flight because to me, I'd like to go with somebody. You know, whether it's a friend or whoever, you know, or some family. It's the ideal thing, and maybe just maybe at some time in the future, in the next so many years, we might never get. My mum and dad might not ever get to Australia. They might not. I don't know. But whether I go in the future, maybe I could go when they're long gone or whatever. So I could get to the age of about 45 or 50 or whatever, and be like, I'm going to Australia for the first time, and I'll get there eventually, and it'll be with somebody that I know and that, possibly maybe some family members. But I think that's the point. I would want to go to Australia not by myself, but with some people, you know. And going with family isn't such a problem. I mean, um, my aunt and uncle would like to go to Australia, I think, as well, and it's very likely that they would want to go. So if it ever come to it and we could go, you know, we'd probably have to think, well, 5 years time maybe we've got this money, we're all heading off to Australia because for me, I would go with my mum and dad, and I would go with my aunt and uncle, and anybody else who wants to come. But I think my mum and dad are a little bit like we're getting on a little bit, so maybe the dream of Australia to them will not happen because I think they're looking at the point of getting on a little bit. And I know we can live life to the full. We can get to an age of 70, 75, whatever, and it's still one of them things that you want to live your life. But I don't know what my mum and dad think about, say, getting to an age of, say, 70, 75 and wondering should they really be going on a plane to Australia. Um, I don't know. I don't know whether they'd want to do that. They might feel like just having some nice, quiet holidays in the UK, basically, and not having to fly out so far. But that's the one place that I think would be a holiday destination for me. And if possible, though, it would be nice to say that in the future I would go with my mum and dad and probably my aunt and uncle, and we'd all be one big family, all on a journey going to Australia, and hopefully they won't say that they're getting on a little bit to not go. But until then, I don't think we'll be going because we've been thinking about other holidays that we will basically go on before that, which are obviously cheaper. Now, to end off, would there be any other place in the world that I'd like to go to? Well, on the top of my head, not really, I can't think. But I've always said this, and this has always been something I've always had in my mind about holidays and places to visit is I would love to visit any place where my friends live. So basically, if I was to randomly pick, say, 20 friends that I have, right now, many of these could be online only or whatever. But if I was to randomly say I've picked 20 friends that I know of who live around the world in places like Germany and France and some American places and Canada and wherever, it's always been my ideal, and even Australia, come to think about it, I've always thought what I'd love to do is I'd love to visit them. I'd love to visit them at least once. At least. And that'd be great to go to their place and visit them. But on the other hand, it would be nice for them to come and visit me as well. And that way, I could show them around the area. So I'm going to leave it there on that blog. I just wanted to say you know, what would be an ideal, where would your ideal place be to go on a holiday, basically? Which I've already done pretty much my dream holiday to Nashville, so I'm not quite sure there's much else that needs to be done. I've done it, but it would be nice to go again, I suppose. But on the next time to visit or basically go to the CMA Awards, if possible. But apart from that, there's not many other places in the world that I think I would like to go to. Oh, in fact, there is one other place. I've not mentioned it, and we could be going this year, and that's Detroit, the home of Motown. So it's something that's I've seen, and we're looking into it because basically we would love to go to Motown. Being soul fans that we are, me and Dad, we would love that and enjoy obviously that. But yeah, so basically that's it. That's it for this blog, and I will think about other blogs that I can do and record them as and when because we need to upload the other ones first. But until then, bye for now.